of Christmas my true love gave to me. I'm just kidding, I'll spare you. But if you do need a Christmas caroler, I am for hire. Anywho, I'm very excited. I know this might look messy right now, but it's because I kind of took everything out that I'm gonna need for my day of eating vegan style during the holidays. I wanted to add a few new and fun recipes. I've shared a lot of my favorite vegan recipes in the past, quick ones for dinner. So I'll link those down below if you guys want to see more vegan recipes. But a few of the ones I'm gonna share today is just stuff I like to do during the holidays because it's cozy and fun and it reminds you of being a child, aka Christmas cookies. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually getting a little warm and we're going to start off with breakfast. I tend to not eat much for breakfast. I'll have fruit or a piece of toast. But this is something that I like to eat maybe around like 10 or 11, so it's not too early in the morning. As you guys saw, I only drink water first for the first full hour, and then I'll have coffee, and I like to add in this MCT oil. I've been using it for a while, but let's jump in and make a blueberry crumble. This recipe is actually from NikkiVegan, and I've been loving watching her videos because she has such delicious meals. I'll put all of the recipes for today down in the description and links if I got them from somewhere else. But I do need to start off making some fresh almond milk, and I do this with my almond cow. It's not a real cow, because a few of the recipes today call for some almond milk. So we'll get started with that, make a blueberry crumble, and then I'll see you guys back here after for lunch. I actually know how to make almond milk with almond cow by heart. So it's 1 cup of almonds, unroasted, unsalted, and then the almond cow has this little thing that you put on the blender part. So you add that in there. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 pitted dates. And to find the pits, I just like push them in half, and they're usually in the middle. So make sure you take that out. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So what you wanna do is get this blender part all mixed into the almonds. You just twist down the top like this, and then it fits all together. Plug it in, shake it out a little bit. So nice and delicious in there. And then I got these jugs, or like regular milk jugs, from Amazon, and I honestly just like the way they look. I used to put our milk in like 3 different mason jars, so at least I can put all of our milk in 1 jar now. Oh my god, so good when it's fresh. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the fridge for now. I'm gonna use this later. Okay, so I actually want to prep some of my nacho cheese ingredients for later, specifically the cashews. It requires 2 cups of softened cashews. So I'm going to put them in this bowl with some hot water and let them soak at least for about 4 hours. Okay, so in 1 bowl, you're gonna add 1 banana, a 1/2 cup of maple syrup, a 1/2 cup of almond butter, 1 cup of oats, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. You're gonna mix this together, but I get the masher out for the bananas. Okay, separately, you're going to put your bag of frozen blueberries. You can do this in a bowl, but I just do it right in the container I'm going to cook it in, and mix this with 1 tablespoon of flour. And you're going to just top it with your crumble. Here's how it looks. And I'm just going to bake this for 45 minutes at 375 degrees. This is the Forager cashew milk yogurt unsweetened vanilla bean that I like to top with 1 gram of sugar total per serving. A lot of the times in any type of yogurts, there'll be a lot of sugar, so that's what I look out for. For lunch, I still do get my thistle meals. I made a whole vegan meal delivery service video about a month ago, and I'm still loving the thistle meals. It's really healthy, all vegan. I don't have to think about it, and it's super easy, especially because I do like to cook more in depth, like dinners and whatnot. I don't want to have to think about all the different meals of the day, and most of them you can just eat cold. I prefer to heat up a lot of my food, so even if it is labeled as cold, I probably will still heat it up for just a few, and it's ready to go. Who's ready for dinner? I'm ready for dinner. It's dinner time, and although this may not technically be like a holiday or Christmas or anything kind of meal. It is something that I make almost every week here because we have leftovers and because I just love all the ingredients that go into it. It's gonna be tacos. These tacos are almost quesadilla-like with all the stuff that I put into it, and the vegan nacho cheese that I make is probably top 3 favorite food item. It's so good. All right, I'm starving, so let's get to prepping. Here are the rest of the ingredients for the nacho cheese. We just put them all in a NutriBullet. All right, so it's a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. If you guys are plant-based and haven't tried nutritional yeast yet, it is so good. Oh my gosh. It's 3 tablespoons lemon juice, or around 1 lemon, so I just do 1 lemon. And I actually keep these and put them in the dishwasher. It helps your dishwasher with first the scent, and then also your dishes come out like really clear and shiny. So save these. Just a dash of paprika. You can do more if you like more, but I don't absolutely love paprika being the overwhelming taste. With all of these, I don't have a 1 teaspoon. I have about 1, 2, I have 2 1/2 teaspoon ones, but here's my 1 teaspoon. Anywho, 1 teaspoon of onion powder and also 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 2 teaspoons of salt or to taste. I don't have much salt in here, so I feel like it could be the rest of the bag. Yeah, it's definitely good. And then we just add 2 1/2 cups of water. I'm just gonna chop up some red onions. I usually use yellow onions, but I forgot to get them this week. So red onions are fun. I really like all kinds of onions. So as always, I use my handy dandy onion chopper. We're just gonna cut up some tomatoes to add in to the tacos. All right, so Greg cooks the rice here. I actually have no idea how to cook rice. I can do it in a pot, but the rice maker is another beast, so I let him do that. So I just got the red onions going, just a little bit of olive oil on medium heat, and I'm gonna cook this for about 10 to 15 minutes. After you can see these browning a little bit and they smell amazing, I'm adding some mushrooms. The best part about tacos is you can just add whatever you want. These mushrooms are already washed, and strain them. I'm gonna use these 7 sprouted whole grain wraps, turmeric, and sweet potato. I also like to add an avocado into these. I just love avocado in general. Let's see how this looks. It'll do. All right, so I'm just gonna add all the ingredients. I put these like back to back to cook 2 at a time. And I'm just gonna put all the ingredients in here. Lastly, I just heat up the vegan nacho cheese on medium heat for like 5 minutes. These are my favorite chips, so crunchy, and that's it. All right, I'm all showered after dinner, almost ready for bed, but something I absolutely love for the holidays is, of course, cookies. This is a vegan sugar cookie recipe, and I've been making it for a few years now, and it's delicious. You'll eat so many of these cookies, like you'll actually be physically sick. Just a heads up, the dough has to chill in the fridge for 1 hour, so make sure that you're making the dough and then you kind of have time to go do something and then come back and cook them. So let's make some cookies. So we need 3/4 cup vegan butter, slightly softened. So we're just gonna beat this for about 1 minute until creamy and smooth. Next, we're adding 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and then beat this again 2 to 3 minutes until fluffy and light. Now we're adding in 2 tablespoons of almond milk, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then you're gonna mix this for about 1 minute. Then you're gonna add 1 cup of flour. My grandma would probably be very mad I did not sift that. Then you're gonna sprinkle a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt right on top. Mix this on low speed until it's just combined, and then you're gonna add 1 more cup of flour and continue to mix on low until just combined. You don't want to overmix this here. Okay, so now we have to make all of this into 2 balls. So we're gonna wanna mush it together a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna place these in the fridge for 1 hour. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit more flour on this dough. Okay, so you're gonna roll out your dough a little bit. And you can also make these into like circles like this. So I usually do if it's not the holidays and I'm making these cookies. I make them just like this. So I'll make a few like that. And then just try and keep them even for cooking purposes so they cook evenly. And then use whatever cookie cutters you have. I have a few cute ones, a tree, a star, a wreath, and a moon. My grandma has like literally bags full. This is one of my favorite things to do when I go home for the holidays with my grandma. And then get all your dough back together and roll it out again and do the same thing. Okay, after you're over rolling it out a few times, this is when I start also making them into balls. All right, now just bake 8 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees. I like to add my cookies to a cooling rack afterwards for like 10 to 15 minutes. These cookies specifically don't get too brown, like a little bit brown on the edges, but overall they don't get too dark, just FYI. Oh, you already have it? Mm-hmm. We're gonna eat it together.
I could try. Okay. I could do it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Bellissimo.
Cheers. Thank you guys so much for watching day 2 of the 12 days of Christmas here on my YouTube channel. I'll see you back here tomorrow. You won't want to miss it.